In the summer of 1986, London was alive with energy. The city pulsed with ambition and opportunity, drawing in the young and the hopeful from all across the country. Among them was Suzy Lamplugh, a 25-year-old woman who embodied the spirit of her generation. She was independent, confident, and determined to carve out her place in the world. Suzy worked as an estate agent for Sturgis & Sons in the affluent district of Fulham. Her days were filled with client meetings, property viewings, and the buzz of the city streets. She loved her work and the independence it afforded her. Life seemed full of promise, until one day, everything changed. Monday, July 28th, 1986 began like any other day. Suzy arrived at her office cheerful and prepared for her appointments. She wore a smart outfit, stylish yet professional, and carried her black leather handbag containing her personal belongings. By all accounts, Suzy was in good spirits. There was nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary. At approximately 12:40 p.m, Suzy made a note in the office diary. 12:45 p.m, Mr. Kipper, 37 Shorrells Road. It seemed to be a routine appointment, just another client in search of a new home. Without hesitation, Suzy picked up the keys to the office car, a white Ford Fiesta, and set out for her meeting. That simple act, stepping out the door into the bright London afternoon, was the last confirmed moment Suzy Lamplugh was ever seen. Hours passed. Suzy failed to return to the office. She missed subsequent appointments. Concern began to grow among her colleagues. Suzy was known for her reliability, her professionalism. This was not like her. By the early evening, the office realised something was terribly wrong. They contacted the police, reporting her missing. The initial search was frantic, but yielded little. Later that evening, Suzy's white Ford Fiesta was found abandoned about a mile and a half from her scheduled meeting location on Stevenage Road near Bishop's Park in Fulham. The car was unlocked. The handbrake was off. Inside, Suzy's personal items were missing. There was no sign of a struggle, no fingerprints of any use, no blood, no witnesses. It was as though she had simply vanished into the London air. Police launched one of the most extensive missing person investigations in British history. Posters with Suzy's smiling face were plastered across the city. Her parents, Paul and Diana Lamplugh, made heartfelt public appeals. Volunteers combed parks, alleyways and riverbanks. For weeks the nation watched and waited, clinging to hope, but no trace of Suzy was ever found. The mysterious figure noted in the office diary, Mr. Kipper, became the focus of the investigation. Who was he? Had Suzy known him beforehand? No client by that name had been registered. No one in the office had heard her mention a Mr. Kipper before. It appeared that she had gone alone to meet a complete stranger, or perhaps someone pretending to be someone else. Witnesses came forward saying they saw a woman matching Suzy's description, arguing with a man outside a property on Shorrells Road. The man was described as about 5 feet 11 inches, with dark hair and a smartly dressed appearance. However, the sightings were uncertain. No one could be sure. The case grew colder as the weeks dragged into months. Then, in November 1986, a possible suspect emerged. A man named John Cannon, a convicted rapist and murderer, was released from prison just days before Suzy's disappearance. He had a history of targeting women under the guise of business dealings. In later years, several witnesses suggested that Cannon resembled composite sketches created based on sightings of Mr. Kipper. Notably, Cannon had used the alias Kipper in prison. A chilling coincidence too close to ignore. John Cannon was interrogated multiple times in relation to Suzy's case, but he denied any involvement. There was no physical evidence linking him to the crime. In 2002, the police publicly stated they believed Cannon was responsible for Suzy's abduction and murder, but without a body, without definitive proof, no charges could be filed. He remains a prime suspect to this day. As the years wore on, Suzy's case became one of Britain's most haunting mysteries. Her parents refused to give up hope. They campaigned tirelessly for the rights of victims and founded the Suzy Lamplugh Trust, a charity focused on personal safety, still active today. Their tireless efforts transformed their tragedy into a mission that has protected countless lives. Several searches were conducted over the decades. In 2000, police excavated the garden of a property previously owned by John Cannon's mother in Sutton Coldfield. Believing Suzy's remains might be buried there, nothing was found. In 2018, police excavated a property's garden in the West Midlands, once again linked to Cannon. Still, no trace of Suzy. The mystery surrounding Suzy Lamplug's disappearance remains unresolved. Over the years, theories have abounded that she was abducted and killed by a stranger, that she was targeted specifically by someone she trusted, that organised crime may have played a role, yet none have yielded the truth. There is a chilling familiarity in Suzy's case, the reminder that even in broad daylight, on busy London streets, someone can vanish without a trace. That a momentary encounter, a simple appointment, can spiral into tragedy. Suzy's parents, Paul and Diana, passed away without ever learning what truly happened to their daughter. Their loss became a symbol of so many families' pain. Families who wait for years, for decades, for answers that may never come. To this day, the Metropolitan Police continue to review the case. Suzy Lamplug's disappearance is not forgotten. It remains one of the most haunting and tragic chapters in the history of British crime. The name Suzy Lamplugh evokes not just sorrow, but a cautionary tale about trust, personal safety, and the unseen dangers that can exist beneath the surface of everyday life. In Suzy's memory, changes were made across Britain, in how estate agents conduct business, in how personal safety is taught, and in how missing person investigations are treated with urgency from the very first moment. Suzy's story remains a ghostly echo through the corridors of time. Her vibrant spirit, captured forever in photographs and family memories, stands as a painful reminder that behind every missing persons poster is a life cut short, a future stolen. Her case reminds us that justice delayed or denied leaves wounds that never fully heal. As London continues to move and change, the question remains, what really happened to Suzy Lamplugh on that warm summer afternoon in 1986? Somewhere, perhaps, the answer lingers, waiting to be found. Until then, we remember her not just for how she vanished, but for the legacy of hope, action, and change she left behind. Thank you for joining us in remembering Suzy Lamplugh, a vibrant soul whose life was filled with dreams, ambitions, and endless promise. Her story is not just a mystery frozen in time, it's a call to stay vigilant, to cherish our loved ones, and to never forget those who are still waiting for justice. If this story touched you, we invite you to subscribe to our channel for more real-life crime investigations, each honouring the lives and the voices that must never be lost to silence. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and remember, behind every headline is a human story that deserves to be told.